I went on holiday in May. She was staying with my auntie, so you know she was alright. And I went on holiday in May to America. She was getting really healthy at my auntie's house, like really good, really well. And she came back. When I came back, she was so good. She was like, okay, when you coming home from uni? And I came back on like the 14th, I think. And that same day she came back home, so I was looking after her. And then I was trying to help her and stuff, but then she started deteriorating again. And my other auntie, she came to me about a week before my mum passed. A week and a bit, sorry, before my mum passed, and said to me, like, she said to me, my sister, Courtney, Shannon and Courtney, I'm not really sure if you know, but your mum's really poorly, and they don't know like how much longer she has left. They haven't got a proper time frame. And that took it out of me. Like, I literally put my clothes on and I ran to my best friend's house, and I was in tears because I was just like, you know, I couldn't believe that that's what she was saying to me. But what I took from that was that, you know, I had to treasure the time that I had left with her. And so I was honestly, I thought she would make it past my birthday, her birthday, and she would get poorly, hopefully make it to Christmas, but if not, it would be just before then. Never in a million years did I think she was gonna pass literally a week and 2 or 3 days later. And again, mum was getting sicker, so I started to equivalate that to being attached to me and how I was looking after her. I felt like, I don't know, I was doing a bad job, so she was getting sick. But I just asked my uncle, like, I had a big conversation with my uncle, and I just asked him to take her for the weekend and just give me a breather. And then when she came back, I would, like, you know, try my best, and I'll dedicate more time, because I was working, but I'll try my best and I'll dedicate. I found another job, sorry, because I left my old one, so now this time I was located in London. So I just thought, yeah, I'll dedicate more time to her. And my uncle was supposed to take her for the weekend, and he brought her back. He was supposed to bring her back on either Monday night or Sunday night, and he brought her back a day early. I think it was Sunday night he brought her back. No, he brought her back on either Saturday night or Sunday night. And basically, when he brought her back, she was just sweating, and she could barely walk. But the way she was sweating from like one side of her face, so literally all just like literally in her hair, but everything on the other side was completely dry, and it was really weird. So that's what I was focusing on, and her breathing was really crazy. And I remember having to help her walk up the stairs, and doing that, she called me. She said, "Mom, Courtney, I'm gonna need you to help me walk up the stairs." I said, "Alright, Mom, let me know when you need me to help you," because obviously she was, you know, still breathing heavily. And she asked me. I went upstairs. She called me back 10 minutes down. I came down. I helped her halfway up the stairs. She wanted to sit down for a break again, so I went back in my room, and it was another 20 minutes before she called me back out. And I put her in her bed, and I said, "Mum, are you sure?" No, before we even walked up the stairs, my uncle was like, "You know, I don't think something's really wrong," you know what I mean? And before we went up the stairs, I said, "Mum, are you sure you don't want to go to the hospital? Are you sure?" And she said, "No, I just want to sleep." So I said, "Alright then, cool." I put her in her bed now, fast forward, and I was just about to doze off to sleep, and literally, because I had work the next morning, and I was about to doze off to sleep, and then she calls me at like 2:30 in the morning. It's like, to call the ambulance, I need to go to the hospital. So I called called the ambulance. The ambulance came, and we left about 3:41 in the morning. That's when we arrived at the hospital, because they were trying to work out what was wrong with her, and they didn't know. Sorry guys, this is my comfort. Yeah, so they didn't know what was wrong with her. either. So then, you know, they were just trying to stabilise her breathing, and that's what they was focusing on, kind of thing, and not focusing on anything else. Or yeah. And they were trying to take stuff into consideration about her liver, but they didn't really know much about it because she was doing chemotherapy for her liver and other stuff. So they had to have a specific cancer doctor to help her. And I remember in King's, they have the hospital, the way how it's laid out is you have 3 different types of injury places, you know. Minor, she was in, that's minor, like minor injuries. My mum was in major. And literally, I remember there was they moved her from major to resus, and I was thinking, what's going on? But the doctors weren't really saying too much because they didn't really know what was going on. They didn't have much knowledge about it. And then we was there for hours and hours and hours, and then I fell asleep in the room outside whilst they were, you know, doing some stuff with her. And they called me, they woke me up and said, okay, we're moving your mum to a ward. And I think the ward was named Annie Zuns or something like that. And they moved her, and this was supposed to be a temporary ward, but the connection in this ward was atrocious. Anyways, I remember just visiting her like I think I visited her like every other day because I was working, I was tired and stuff. Like inexcusable now, but at the time, you know, that's not how I thought about things. I just thought she'll understand and what have you. But now I wish I spent every single day in the hospital with her. But she was literally getting so, like, she was eating, she was smiling. I remember like the second to last time I saw her, she was smiling, she was dancing. Her friend's boyfriend came back from Jamaica and he brought her some food. And when she ate it, she was like, oh. And she was dancing and she had some music and she was busting moves. And I said, this is my mum, like, this is her, she's coming back, she's feeling better, she's looking better, kind of thing. And I was happy. And then the next day I come to the hospital, no one had updated me. But the next day I come to the hospital, she was irritable, she was mumbling, like she became a hard patient for the nurses to look after. Like she was really irritable, in a lot of pain, and I don't even know how to describe like thing, but you know, without being disrespectful, you would think the way how she was behaving was as if she was special needs kind of thing. And it was weird. Like I'd never seen my mom, you know, anything like that. So I was just trying to help the nurses, you know, if they needed to do something. I was just trying to, you know, calm her down and help her to help them to do what they needed to do to make her better. Obviously my cousins weren't gonna call me because they knew I was at the hospital. But that night when I left, she was going for a CT scan, and they just wanted to see if the cancer had MRI scan, I think. They wanted to see if the cancer had spread anywhere. And it was so late, and I remember I had work, I think it's everyday work. I had work the next day or something. I was just mashed up. So I went home at like 10 or something. The visit now is even finished at 8, but I stayed a bit later. And my cousin, she went to visit my mum before. And she said she called her dad, and her brother and her mum, and just said everyone needs to get here ASAP because she's not looking good. But me, I was there and I didn't see it like that. I don't know what it was, but I was viewing it in an urgency kind of thing. And then the next morning I was sleeping and my cousin called me. She said, go see what's wrong with Shannon. I said, what do you mean? She said Shannon's crying, talking about something to do with your mum in the hospital. At the time, me and my sister really went on amazing terms, but I was like, okay, what's going on? So I went down the stairs and she said, they called me into the hospital, but when I know what's going on, I'll call you. So I went upstairs and I was expecting to go to sleep, you know, in about an hour or two, maybe receive a phone call, and she called me within 7 minutes. I remember the hospital was really close to my house, and she called me within 7 minutes and said, get a cab, you and Mick, get in the cab now. Like, today's the day, mum's gonna die. And I just remember like, nah, it's not my mum, do you know what I mean? Nah, she's not passing. And I went to the hospital and she was breathing, but she was breathing like really heavy, like. And she said, they said she could hear me. They could hear that she could hear everyone speaking to her, but she wouldn't be able to actually respond. And a few of my aunties were able to arrive before, and some of my cousins were able to arrive before she passed. And we all just told her how much we loved her. How much we didn't want her to leave us and everything. But yeah. And that was the day that I lost my mum. And about an hour and a half later of me coming to the hospital, her breath just got more shallow and shallow, and even with the oxygen tank that they had around, the oxygen mask that they had gave her, it wasn't gonna be any help, basically. Like, her body just gave up. And the doctor said, basically from the MRI scan, they didn't want to resuscitate her. And my auntie was begging them, but they didn't want to resuscitate her because if they resuscitated, she may have woken up basically brain dead, kind of, in a way, because not brain dead, could find offensive, but I think they say like a cabbage, I think they call it, but like she would have basically been incapable to do anything for herself, kind of thing. And they don't want to make my mum do that because, I mean, they don't want to put my mum through that kind of thing, and we didn't want her to be like that either. But it's because the cancer had spread and it was wrapping itself around her heart, and I think it was in her lungs and everything. So that's why they said it was all over her chest. To go through something at this age, the age I was 19, to lose your parent, the person that provided for you, the person that looked after you for how many years of your life, it's the hardest thing that you could ever really go through. But I'm learning, and I've got an amazing support system in my friends and my family and my church, and God has really been there for me, and he's put people in my pathway that has been like amazing to me. I've got so many sisters in Christ that I really appreciate. The reason why I made this video is not to like sit here and cry on camera or be emotional, but I want to help people the way that people have helped me. I mean, God really aligned the paths for me, because about a year, oh my God, it was a year. About a year before my mum passed, about a year before my mum had passed, I went to a funeral for my friend's daughter, and she arranged for me and my twin sister to get up to the funeral through her friend who was driving. And he happened to be someone who and he happened to invite me to his church, and I went. But the amazing thing about that was the time that he invited me, I was actually in the midst of just saying to God, you know, I need to find somewhere else to fellowship at, because not because my church wasn't good, but because I wasn't growing and I wasn't finding myself in him. So I wanted to change, and it's amazing how he works, because he put me in the car with the person who was going to invite me to church. and I went and I loved it, every part of it, and I'm still there now, and he's still blessing me using that church. And even last week I was even able to show this previous Sunday, my appreciation to the workers, because without them I don't know how I would be right now, and how I would have coped or gone through anything. So I give praise to God for their life, and I'm so grateful for them. I've found a really happy place for myself, really and truly. Like, I can cry there and, you know, feel safe. I can talk to people there, and my pastor's amazing, and I've got some, like I said, when I sisters in Christ, I've got some serious sisters in Christ in that place, and that's why I'm just grateful for everything that he's done for me. Even though, like, you would think, oh, how is she still coping? Like, people that have me on Snapchat, they're like, what me? I don't know how you do it. Like, you've lost your mum. Like, I don't know how I would be, but I can honestly just tell you it's through God and through the people that he's placed in my life that I'm this way, and from the things that he made me do. Because if I didn't sign up for UCAS and I didn't end up going to university, then I don't know how I would be right now. The different things that, like, you just gotta trust in him and be faithful to him, and he will provide for you. Like, this YouTube thing, the blessings that he's put on my pathway, like the testimony that he's preparing for me is amazing. So I just want to encourage you guys to, if no matter what you're going through, no matter what you've been through, like, God is amazing, and he will find a way to help you, and you just gotta trust in him. You've got to have faith in him. You've got to believe that he will do it, because he will. And if I'm honest, I know so many people that have lost their mums, and I never thought it was I always thought it was never going to be me. I never thought that I would go through that. And even after my mum passed, my granddad passed, another friend of mine had passed, and earlier in that year, my other friend had passed. So honestly, 2016 was like one of the worst years of my life. And a month ago, before I went on my holiday, I was speaking to my friend. He messaged me and he said, how do you do it? And I said, how do I do what? He said, how do you do this, Courtney? And I'm struggling, and I just need your help. I don't know how you do it. I said, what are you talking about? He lost his mum like a week before he spoke to me, and I had no idea, but I just, like, from the same thing. And even my other friend, she just lost her auntie to cancer. So I'm just like, it's something that, you know, it needs to be sorted out. Like, cancer is a serious thing that people need to take, like, some serious, you know, thoughts about it, and know that a lot of people lose their parents, their loved ones to this thing, and it don't just disappear. Like, there's no direct cure for cancer, like, and it's like, I'm waffling a bit, but basically I plan to do so much to help cancer research, any charity to do with cancer. Like, I'm literally here for it, because I know how it feels, and I don't want my worst enemy to feel this way. I don't want my worst enemy to, like, stare at pictures and that's all they have left. My worst enemy to look through old videos just to hear the sound of their parents' voice or their auntie's voice or anyone like that, because, you know, like, or like now, like even this weekend, so many months later, is when I'm finally going through my mum's stuff and, like, you know, having to clear it out or sort out housing, because your council, you know, don't want to let you live in the house that you grew up with the person that you loved with. Do you know what I mean? I don't wish those kind of things on anyone. So I'm here, and if anyone wants to, like, you know, email me or message me on Instagram or on Twitter or like anything, literally, guys, please, like, come to me and talk to me, and I'm here, and I can just give you some words of wisdom, like how I'm coping and how I'm getting through. I just really want to help people. So yeah, I hope you guys take something from this video. I wouldn't say enjoyed, because it's so sad, it's something, you know, sad, but I hope everyone's taken something from this video and everyone can learn. And if you know someone who's been through the same scenario as I have, I'll ask that you just pray for them, and you just, you know, pray for them and ask God to really guide them. And if you know that if they're in pain, like, help them, talk to them, because you know, sometimes people say, oh, like, I just wanted to, I thought, let me leave you alone. Those things, sometimes it helps, but not everyone it helps, because I don't know how I would have coped if it wasn't all the messages that I got. Like, it was overwhelming, and every time I opened a message I cried, but that helped me so much. And going to church and like having people just say, you're right, how are you feeling okay, that there's a blessing in itself. Those few words, I don't need you to delve too much into like how is your like mum's passing, is it affecting you? Like, those questions were never asked. It was always, how are you feeling, are you okay? Do you know what I mean? And that just helped me so much. So if you could do that to the people that you know that are going through the same thing, please, like, anything, just help them and be a support system, like, be there for them, because this is something that, you know, it can ruin people's lives. And some people don't like end up, you know, doing good in this scenario. Some people, you know, give up on life. Some people just derail. So please, if you know someone that's going through this same thing, just support them. And like I said, guys, if you need any support, if you yourself are going through a loss and you want to talk to someone, I'm here. But it's the end of the video. I don't want to cry anymore. So if you guys just follow me on, subscribe, like this video. If you want more chit chat vibe videos kind of with me, then let me know, or what kind of videos you want. And like any video requests or anything like that, let me know. What else? Please share this video. Not even, do you know what it is that I could say in any other video, you like, I'm not gonna say don't share, do what you feel obliged to do, and if I ask you to, like, you know what I mean, but this one I really need everyone to share. I really need everyone to share this to people specifically that are going through this or what have you, or even if, actually I didn't even touch on this, but please, if your parent or family member or someone that you know is going through cancer, please don't take it lightly. I'm not saying that they're gonna pass, but please don't take it lightly. I'm actually begging you that you just enjoy every moment you have left with that person, and you make that person realize that, you know, they may not die, but it's, you know, something serious. So be there for them, because they need it, regardless of if they act like they show it or not. They may cry in the sidelines and you have no idea. Please help them, please be with them. There's so much things that I wish I could have done for my mum, and now that opportunity is taken away from me, but I don't want anyone else to ever feel like that. So please, yeah. But back to the sharing thing, like, I just want this video to spread, and I want people to, you know, take something from this. So please, like, subscribe to my channel, share, and comment down below as well. Thank you guys.